I'm not sure how to say your name. I'm sorry, sir. Come on up to the microphone at the podium here and state your name and address for the record. Is that Gopala? Boy, I did a really good job. Go ahead and pull that microphone down just a little bit.
The property, 201 Cedar. That's what it was.
Okay, and then state your reason for being here.
Sure. So, number one, I'm very new to the environment, so please pardon my ignorance. We recently purchased the property last November.
You moved the microphone, I'm sorry, too close to you. You can go ahead and bend it down if it's really
okay.
easy.
We purchased the property in November of last year, but we were not aware that there was a lien on the property, and there was no notification. But after a few months, I contacted the city to make sure that there's anything outstanding or how we changed the utilities under our name, and then we realized that there was, I couldn't find any public records as well online.
Excuse me, just excuse me 1 minute. Can somebody close the door, please? Thank you. Sorry.
So I contacted the city clerk, and they suggested me to bring my case to the council and request for any sort of a partial or a full waiver to consider my case. So that's why I'm here.
Okay. So has this gone to the finance committee? So at this time, let's go ahead and refer it to the finance committee, and then we'll be contacting you as we move along with it.
Okay.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming forward.
Thank you.
So I have no other forms. Is there anyone else that would like to speak on an item that is not on this evening's agenda? Seeing none, we'll go ahead and do the presentation from Nancy Henderson from P.C.S. Transit Commissioner. Thank you so much for coming and joining us this evening.
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity to be here. It's really nice to be in the city of Pacific. In fact, I even made a map of it so that I could really find all of its borders. I wanted to introduce myself to everyone here. I have replaced Derek Young on the P.C.S. Transit Board as a commissioner. And in that capacity, I represent 6 different jurisdictions, the city of Pacific being one of them, the others being the city of Auburn, Fircrest, Gig Harbor, where I just was, Stellicum, and little town of Ruston. The meetings are the second Monday of the month, and I'm one of 9 commissioners, so my vote is perhaps not weighty, but I wanted you to know that I am there to represent the small towns. I was interested in the borders of Pacific because I was looking diligently in the Bus Stops Here book, the latest edition, to see what P.C.S. Transit service you have in the city of Pacific, and I'm still looking, matter of fact. There's nothing, so that might be a point of discussion. I know that I was also looking to see if there was anyone who was participating in van pools, which can be a very good way of commuting together economically, but I didn't see anyone registered on the website from the City of Pacific involved in pools. I don't know if the shuttle service, which is available for persons with disabilities, is a presence in the city or not.
So we do have a van that services the city.
Okay, well that's some representation at least. That's good to know. All right, well I hope that I had enough cards that I gave you. If not, I have a couple extra that I'll just give you in case. So that if there would be any reason that you would like to contact me, I would certainly invite you to do that. And if anyone has any questions at this time, I'm kind of the rookie right now, but if you have any questions, I'd be glad to try to answer them.
So, questions from council? Councilmember Jones.
I know right now we don't have Pierce County transit coming into the city, but one of the things, when we were going through the evaluation a couple of years ago,
yes.
I was part of that team, and one of the reasons why I convinced at the time the council to retain Pierce County was the fact that the possibility of the MIC, Manufacturing Industrial Center, that we have with Sumner in the south end, which is in the Pierce County section of the city. So with the hopes at some point where we could get Pierce County Transit into that area, the increase in manufacturing, the industrial center would be beneficial to have transit in that area and to keep down the traffic and stuff like that. Because we are building up Valentine Road that will come through, it's all in Pierce County and from the city through into Sumner. And then we're also updating 8th Street or Stewart Road, which again is in Pierce County. And the combination of those two improvements on the roads we probably will see a large influx of new businesses and stuff like that. So I think it's important for Pierce County to take a look at that.
Well, I think it's very important that we be a dynamic service as jurisdictions change, as businesses come in, as the needs morph a bit. So thank you for providing me with that information. I will plan to get back with you on that subject. Just out of curiosity, I know that this city is quite a bit into King County. Is it mostly King County as opposed to Pierce? And so do you have coverage at all from King County, any type of public bus service?
We do currently with the proposed cuts to Metro, though we'll lose quite a bit of service where we'll have two runs in the morning and 2 runs in the evening, Monday through Friday, and the weekend will be substantial loss as well with the proposed cuts from King County.
And when will that cut perhaps occur?
We're looking at possibly in June.
Oh. Okay, that's not good news.
No, it's not.
Okay. All right, well, I appreciate that information. Thank you very, very much again for the
Thank you. Any other questions from council? Well, thank you for coming and
Thank you.
addressing us this evening.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, now, next on the agenda are the reports. Would you like to be excused? Thank you. She'll be right back. So, reports. We'll start with the mayor's report. First of all, I want to thank Darcy and Joanne for the awesome job that they did Saturday with the Citizen Appreciation Dinner, our first annual. It was quite successful. There was great attendance, and I really want to thank the council members, too. So I came Councilmember Walker, Councilmember Cave, Councilmember Knudsen, Councilmember Putnam, and Councilmember Steiger for participating and helping out with the event as well. Also, staff for showing up and coming and participating. Richard and Ken and Amy, really appreciate you guys coming and hanging out with us. And those who attended know that we announced our first Citizen of the Year presentation. And if you weren't there, I would like to announce that Jean Fancher received our award for the first Citizen of the Year. And good job, Jean. Thank you. Very well-deserving citizen of Pacific to receive that award with everything that she has contributed for years of service in this community, whether it be stormwater, organizing the candidate forums, working on a park board, planning commission.
I don't work on those, I just go to those meetings.
She just goes and shows that, keeps notes. The number one thing I think that people are really impressed with is the abilities for her blog and the information that she gets out to the citizens, her email list, and she's been a really good source for information for our citizens, and we really appreciate that. I just want to show everyone, this is the plaque now that will be hanging in City Hall. And as you can see, we have room for more Citizens of the Year. We'll be doing this on an annual basis, and we have our first engraved name there, Jean Fancher. So, wanted to show everybody, we'll have this proudly on display in City Hall moving forward with that. I've been working with King County regarding opening up Pacific City Park. I know that the weather's getting nice, and a lot of people are going to want to see that park open. And we met and discussed on what it's going to take to do that. We're shooting for a goal of April 15th. The issue with that is that second row of Hesper is not something that's designed to be removed and replaced back and forth. And so we're working on some funding mechanisms to replace that back in the fall, because it looks like the Hespers will be there. We're probably looking at about another 4 or 5 years before the levee setbacks are complete, and we won't have to worry about flooding of the park and the citizens around that area. So we're going to be moving forward on getting that done. We met with King County this last week, or last Tuesday, and we feel it's a realistic goal to be able to open up the park on April 15th, and what we're going to do is open up the 2 driveways and take off the top row of HESCOs from driveway to driveway, so it makes the park real visible and easy to see in for safety reasons. So I would not want to open up the park any other way. Part of their suggestion was just open up the driveways, and that was unacceptable to me. We need to be able to see in the park. I was real concerned about safety of our citizens in there, so that's what we're working on and shooting for a goal of April 15th. So just so you know, it's not going to be open at the end of the month. A lot of times we anticipate that, but with the river the way it's running and the rain that we're still anticipating and runoff from the mountains, probably April 15th is a good date anyway. Last thing on my list is I want to remind everybody that Ask the Mayor is next Monday right here in Council Chambers at 6:30. It's the 5th Monday. It's a real informal opportunity to just come in. We kind of sit around in a circle and just talk about goals and visions and things that we would like to see in the city. So I'd like to invite everybody to come in here and just hang out and talk about things that you want to see different here in the city or improve upon, change, whatever it may be. It's a real open and good discussion, and we have a good time. Moving on, we'll move on to the finance report.
We met on the 11th?
Oh, me.
Okay.
Good evening. I just have one item. One of the goals when I started here was to have the state audit for 2012 and to hopefully avoid any findings. Well, we had the exit conference last Tuesday, and we had 0 findings. So I was really pleased with the results, and it's really good for the city because it starts healing our reputation as well going forward. So that's all I have.
Good job, Richard.
Thank you.
You were a lot.
It was a team effort, so it was good working with the outside auditors, and we'll have them back again later this year. So that's all I have. Any questions on
We had
anything?
a management letter was all.
Yeah,
That was what they had.
just because it was late, because the annual report was late.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or something.
sure. Right. So this year's, for 2013's audit will be between October and November. So we're on schedule to get everything done by May when the annual report's done. That's all I have. Thanks.
Okay, next on the agenda is the court.
I don't have anything unless anybody has questions.
Any questions for Kelly? Okay, do your job so efficiently. Next on the agenda is public safety. Okay, so any questions? None? All right, moving on. Public works.
I'd come over there, but, 2 things, we're hoping, Ted's hoping that Valentine will get out the ads before the end of the month, but we've got a couple of, we're waiting on, DOT for the right-of-way certification. And we're hoping to go out to ad on Stewart Road on the 4th of April. What's that? Yeah. Oh, yeah, we will.
Any questions from council? Okay. Community Services, Darcy is on vacation this week. She wanted to make sure that I thanked all of council for their participation and help this Sunday night with the dinner. Okay. No, we haven't. I asked Joanne, and she hadn't had a chance to go through and kind of, but they did a rough estimate, and they believe we made about $300. So after paying expenses for buying the food and everything, it's close to about $300. Okay? All right, boards and committees. Finance Committee.
Okay, we met on March 11th. We had an issue brought to us from resident Bob Schwabo. He was asking to have his late fees waived, or no, he was asking to have his whole utility bill waived because he quit paying on it or something. So we looked at it, and one of the things we looked at is what bound us, by ordinance and everything, and what the law was, and we thought we would refer to Public Works Committee and find out if there was an issue If we have any records of reporting the problem, because he had issues with his yard flooding, that's why he quit paying. Because he didn't feel that he was getting service for what he was paying for. And so we want to get a report from Public Works to determine what exactly is going on, and if we have a plan to fix the problem, if there is indeed a problem. And then we'll reconsider the bills. But right now, we're tentatively looking at possibly waiving the late fees, but making it pay the bill, especially once we get the service provided. Then we discussed the replacement of the vehicle. Insurance paid for it, so we've got our vehicle, and then we took a look at the financial report and looked at the format. We got an explanation of that from Richard, and that was it. And right now, we're tentatively scheduled our meeting for April 8th, but I think I'm looking at trying to reschedule it for the 15th, so it's after the council meeting in April. Also because I'm not available on the 8th, so it'll either be the 9th or the 15th, so.
Okay, questions? All right, governance committee?
I thought I was late, so I didn't have to attend. No, don't give them the key. So, we're going to take my time. Right now, we're on track with professional legal representation. Have we received any of that yet? No, we haven't. We're working on the ordinance for the campers, motorhomes, and looking at it to see what we need to do. Tracy, do you want to
Sure.
speak?
Right now, we're looking at the way the thing's written. We kept focusing in on paragraph 2 and A and B, and so we finally pulled the whole ordinance out, started the ordinance from beginning to end, and got some clarity. At one point in time, I know I personally felt that we were trying to enforce a health and safety thing in zoning, and that it should be under health and safety, but clearly, in the first paragraph, it states that, the intent of the chapter is to promote and protect property values and to provide for the health, safety, and welfare of the citizenry. So we know that we can enforce health and safety in this ordinance. So then we looked at the ordinance section and question from start to finish. So 20.72.050, paragraph A, all public or private parking areas or garages except those required in conjunction with single-family dwelling on a single lot shall be designed, laid out, and constructed in accordance with the provisions of this section. And then you have a series of subparagraphs that help define what the primary paragraph A is. And so we're looking at this and saying, well, when you put an exception in A, everything in paragraphs 1, 2, and 3 are designed to help define what A is, because A is the dominant paragraph. And then subparagraph little a and little b are designed to help define what subparagraph 2 are. And so when we looked at, you look at Robert's Rules of Orders, a lesser order can't trump a higher order. So we're trying to get some clarity, and I think what we're going to do is try to refer to AWC's land use attorneys and get some advice on that to determine how it needs to be interpreted. Because if you look at the English language, you got paragraph A, or Roman numeral 1, and then, a subparagraph, another subparagraph, and another subparagraph. All the subparagraphs are lesser orders to the main paragraph, and they're all designed to help define that primary paragraph. So we just want to get some clarity on that before we move further.
Okay. All right. Any other comments? All right, moving on.